Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a wonderful start to Monday as far as the Lal Street is concerned. There is a sea of green across indices, and that's mainly because of a sharp bounce back that you saw on US markets on Friday. Remember, last Friday we were shut because of Holi, and we've had a day to cover, and in that day you've seen a very strong move coming into the market as far as Wall Street is concerned. That translated across Asia, and you have a nice bounce that is there right in front of you as far as Nifty is concerned. A 100-point gap up on the Nifty. 22,500 is where the index is consolidating, 0.5% higher, but gains across other major indices such as the small cap 100, 143 points up at 15,041, and the mid cap 100 adding about 334 points, around 48,461 is the highlight of the hour. Now, what is happening? As you can see, I'll request the PCR to fire a longer term chart of the Nifty. You will see it consolidating over the last 2 weeks or so, and this is a zone where the bulls refuse to give further space to bears. Remember, we are at an 8-month low as far as the Nifty is concerned. Around 22,000 to 22,500 is a zone which the bulls have determinedly defended against the bears, and this is proving to be a zone which is consolidating over the last 10 odd sessions as far as the Nifty is concerned. This is a point where a lot of good money is also coming into the markets. Many quality stocks are showing signs of consolidation over the longer term, and some of them are actually hitting record highs as well. We'll just go through the broader market in a moment. 1425 shares on the Lal Street are in the green versus 967 which are in the red. Consistently, the advanced decline ratio has favored bulls over the last 10 odd sessions or so, and this is the number that is right there in front of you. Business Today tracks 19 indices. Out of 19, you have 16 that are in the green, and the charge is led by the mid caps. The Nifty Alpha 50 up 1.1%, the Nifty Pharma index gaining 1.5%, and of course the small cap and the auto index bringing up the next 2 slots, up 1% on the small cap, and the Nifty auto index is also up 0.8%. Volumes are pretty good as far as the Lal Street is concerned. Strong buying happening in Indices Bank. This is mostly short covering that the markets are seeing, 3.2% higher. Indices Bank is the top traded counter as far as volumes are concerned, almost 1,000 crores that you are seeing. Breakouts are happening in the pharma space. Biocon breaking the third intraday resistance at about 331, up 2.4%. Apart from Biocon, there are many other pharma shares that are in top form. Remember, the Nifty Pharma index is amongst the top gainers. So, on the winning side, it's Granules India, also a part of the FNO, 3.3% higher, 486.35. Strong turnover here. Reddy, 2.5% addition in Natco Pharma. Look at volume buzzers. Dr. Reddy's, which is a quiet stock, has already seen 80% of its 5-day average being traded. Around 12.45 lakh shares are in the vicinity. I'll request the PCR to fire the long-term chart of Dr. Reddy's. Dr. Reddy's so far in the month has gained just 2.5%, but in terms of top gainers within the pharma space, you have Glenmark, 12% higher in March alone, 1429. Laurus Labs is up 10%, 580. This is the gain that has happened since 28th of March. Biocon we've just discussed, 9.4% higher so far in March, and you have Sun Pharma, Cipla, Granules, Lupin. All of these stocks are showing strong traction in today's trade, and of course are winners as far as the markets are concerned. What are the stocks in the broader market that are showing signs of good traction? Well, you need to look at volume buzzers and look at KEC International. This was beaten black and blue some while ago when the markets feared an entry of a bigger, deeper pocketed player in this space. 6% higher today, 712. You have a strong move coming into Muthoot Finance. I'll request the PCR if they can fire the chart of gold. it's topped $3,000, ladies and gentlemen, as far as the ounce rate is concerned. Let me just see if we can rustle up the price of gold in MCX futures. I don't think so that will be possible, but let me just tell you, we are well above 88,000 as far as prices are concerned. On Friday, we hit a price of 88,310. That, ladies and gentlemen, is reflecting very well on gold financing companies, in particular Muthoot Finance. You saw a very sharp opening quote of 22.32. The counter is still up 3.1%, and the intraday high was 2,308. All time high is 23.31. Needless to say, this counter will be headed higher because underlying gold is something on which Muthoot Finance lends, and its valuations improve as far as inventory is concerned because it lends only partially against gold that is given to it. That is how it is as far as Manappuram Finance is concerned. This is something that also needs to be checked. Let me just see the price of Manappuram Finance, 205.39. The counters down about rupee 32, 1.3%, but it was also in top shape. Let us look at the F&O space. Let me just point out one interesting statistics in F&O. 170 futures are up versus 50 that are down. So, it is an easy 3.5:1 kind of a ratio, 7:2. So, for every 2 futures that are down, there are 7 that are up. Where is the money going in? Look at value which is emerging in NMDC. This is 64.8, up 1.8%, and I would like to point out something very interesting as far as NMDC's valuations are concerned. I will request the PCR to kindly fire a long term chart of NMDC, and you will see the correction that has come in from 96 rupees. The most recent high that we saw in June was 95 rupees, and look at the valuations that you have at the moment on NMDC. This is an immensely highly profit making company as far as the Government of India is concerned, National Mineral Development Corporation, and I just want you to tell you the dividend yield is at 3.8%, price to book is 1.8, and the price to earnings is 8.7. When you look at the 10-year, 5-year price to earnings as far as median is concerned, it is 7.43. The stock has lost somewhere like 16.6% over the last 3 months, and is, as I have said, an immensely profitable company. You will need to consult a financial advisor if you want to step into it, but the quarterly consolidated revenue for NMDC in December 2024, the latest number that we have is 6,567, and the profit it has made, just a moment please, profit after tax is 1,896 crores. Market cap is just 56,000 crores versus a trailing 12-month revenue of 23,400 crores. This is something which is deeply undervalued as far as markets are concerned, but again, as I have said, while a lot of people with very deep pockets are hunting in the market, they generally have a longer time period for returns. You need to be very careful as far as prices are concerned, but this could be an opportunity which should not be missed. What else is moving as far as good quality trades are concerned? Look at Bajaj Finserv. The counter is amongst the top gainers as far as financial services space is concerned. Today up 2.34%. We have already talked about Muthoot Finance, and one very good stock to look at is MCX. This is where gold is traded in India, silver is traded in India, commodities are traded on this particular index, 4.5% higher. This is also a part of the FNO, and this is the top gainer in the financial wealth management space. If you look at how open interest has moved up, it's up 3.2%, and the volumes are also pretty good. Also look at how open interest has moved in other spaces such as L&T Mindtree, and this is accompanied by a fall in price. So, IT is one of the sectors that hasn't done well, and this is something that is a bit worrisome. Coming back to MCX, the reason why I am pointing MCX is that in the future space, MCX is the top traded stock futures counter. Let us look at what the cash is telling us. At the moment, it faces a massive resistance at 21 EMA on the daily charts, but this is a space that is doing pretty well. Volumes are already 4,62,000 crore, 62,000. Let me just give you an idea as to what volumes were on Thursday when market was open. Yes, Thursday's volume was 3.94 lakhs in total, and we are just at 1110, and already 4.6 lakh shares have been traded. 5-day average of MCX is 3.99 lakhs, out of which delivery is 1.21 lakhs, and the 30-day average is 3.78. So, the trade is showing signs of strength, and as the PCR is showing wonderfully well, the stock has actually corrected more than 25% in the past 3 months. And if you look at the correction, which is from an all-time high to the most recent low, which we saw mid last week, it's to the tune of 36%. And this price was last seen in 19th of August 2024. So, that's yes, this is the wonderful chart that needs to be seen in context. This is how the prices are at this moment of time, and given the fact that gold is a highly sought after trading commodity and a precious asset in India, MCX makes possibly imminent sense. Again, as I have said, this is something that you will have to check with your financial advisor. Our job is to point out where value is emerging and perhaps point out the reason as to why stocks are doing what they are doing. Apart from that, the entire gold chain that we have discussed, what else is buzzing as far as price gainers are concerned? HUDCO. This is something worth watching. Again, I will request the PCR to make the longer term chart of HUDCO. We are now at 186, and surprise, surprise, the counter is above its 21-day exponential moving average. You have seen 352 on HUDCO, and till the most recent correction, the stock has corrected 54%. This price was last observed on 14th of March 2024, and from 352, which was seen in July of 2024, the stock has corrected all the way down to 184. Yes, that's the substantial correction that we are talking about. And again, as I have said, value is emerging at this point of time. What else in the market that gathers my attention? I'd like to point out two stocks which have hit fresh highs. SRF, the one that we've discussed from 2200 rupee levels, is made a flash above 3000 today. As I've mentioned, a record high, now up 1.2%. Kotak Bank. When was the last time we discussed Kotak Bank amongst top winners? 52-week high on Kotak Bank. Remember, before this 52-week high, Kotak has done nothing for the last 5 years, and it's showing signs of strength. So, Kotak is something that again you have to look for, but very, very strong traction in Indigo, 4777, and that's the reason why Indigo is buzzing should not be sought any further. It's crude oil prices, 67.72 a barrel, and they have corrected fairly sharply. They were at $80 a barrel on 15th of Jan, and in 15th of March, which is a span of just 2 months, there has been a correction to the tune of 18% in crude oil prices, because crude oil actually, jet fuel, is about 50 to 60% of expenses of any airline. A cut here is deeply beneficial for all airlines, and including Indigo, which has about 62% of India's aviation market. What else catches my fancy as far as markets are concerned? You are seeing a rise in volume as far as Petronet LNG is concerned. Again, this is in futures. Please keep an eye on Petronet LNG. Let's see the stock price. Yes, below 200-day moving average. Why below 200-day moving average? This is well below its 365-day moving average. So this is something that you need to look at. And of course, in terms of F&O, what is really buzzing is within the Nifty. Let me just highlight some important parts. Dr. Reddy's we've discussed, Indices Bank we've talked about. SBI Life, Trent and Bajaj Finserv are the other winners that are adding to Nifty's tally of 100 points now. Let me just get that right. Yes, 84 points now, 22,481. The high for the market was 22,577. So that's a 100-point correction from intraday high, but it's still early days, 9:15 to 11:15. 2 hours have lapsed. We still have about 3.5 hours of market. What's also interesting, ladies and gentlemen, is data on FIIs. Their selling has slowed. They are still net sellers, but on Thursday they were net sellers to the tune of just 793 crores, and the DII cash buying was actually 1700 crores. So that's more or less negated it. So far on March, it's not been a terrible time, and they've been continuously selling, but the selling is tapering. So this is something which is also beneficial for sentiment as far as Dalal Street is concerned. We'll call it a day here, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back at 2 p.m. But do join us back on 1 p.m. We have a very interesting gentleman joining us, Mr. Mehraboon Irani, CEO of Helios Capital, will be chatting with us on how market sentiment is on Dalal Street. Do join us.
What you can see behind me is the Rishikonda Palace, and the question that remains to be answered is what happens to